Hey guys, this is Tom, and we're about to start the MOCS 9 Season Championship. So we do have a round 1 bye, but we will be deck building here in just a minute, and I can't tell you guys how excited I am to get started here. The first place prize for this event is a ticket to Worlds this year, so there's a whole lot on the line here, guys. We're going to try our best to make the best deck possible, and really just have as good performance as we possibly can. So looking forward to get started here, and we'll see you in a minute. Okay guys, here we are for deck building. Let's have a look and see what we've got. In green we've got Llanowar Elves, we've got Runeclaw Bears, double Rampant Growth, see a Giant Spider, got a Garruk's Companion, Acidic Slime, and a Carnage Worm. So green's looking pretty light. Let's see, we've got double Manolith in artifacts, we have a Scepter, we have a Crown, and a Greatsword. Okay, so let's have a look at the red here. In red we've got Arsonist, we've got a Shock, we have triple Manic Vandal, we have a Chandra's Phoenix, we've got a Bang Chuckers, a Fiery Hellhound, and a Crimson Mage, and a Fling. So red's looking pretty light also. Let's see what black has got. In black we've got Sorin's Thirst, we have a Bloodseeker, a Doomblade, okay, got a Ring Flesh, we have double Bloodseeker, it looks like, double Warpath Ghoul, we do have a Cemetery Reaper, Vampire Outcasts, and looks like we've got a Gravedigger also. So, and then Smallpox, a Blood Rage Vampire, and some Dark Favors. So, black is a little better here. We do have, the Cemetery Reaper, we've got the Outcasts and the Sorin's Thirst and the Doomblade, so we have something going on here. In blue, what have we got? We have triple Unsummon in blue. Very interesting. Got a Phantasmal Bear, Visions of Beyond, a Merfolk Looter, Mana Leak, Frost Breath, double Cutthroat, a Fleetwing, and a Bell Tower Sphinx. So, we have a lot of bounce in blue, but not so much in the creature department. In white, we've got a Sun Titan. We have a Gideon Shura. Okay, so we're playing white. I don't think this one is particularly close. Hopefully we have some more in white. We've got double Stormfront Pegasus. We have a Stave Off. And we have a Peregrine Griffin and double Oromancer. So, and a Veteran. So it looks like, we have the strongest bombs in white by an extremely far margin. However, this is going to be somewhat of a difficult build because we have to find out, what is the best complement to our white? Are we going to have to play 3 colors? What is going to be the best option for us here? So, okay, in blue we have, a number of bounce spells. We have some counter spells. We have some 2/4s to get in the way, the Bell Tower Sphinx. We have more removal in black with the Doomblade, the Sorin's Thirst, and the Ring Flesh. The creature support is probably the best in black. However, that being said, none of the other colors are really all that strong. So we could look at going like the green route and just trying to power out into mana to get a fast Titan or a fast Gideon Jura. The problem is the green is so light in terms of other cards. So in red, we really don't have anything going on in red. We have the Phoenix, we have the Mage, and that's a Shock, and that's pretty much it. So I think we can take the red out of the mix for the moment here. Let's see. So we do also have a Plummet in green, which is worth noting. In black we have... Okay, so we've got... This is an interesting point to bring up here. with Titan, you can get back permanents with mana cost 3 or less, which could potentially be, a decent combo like with Smallpox, or actually, one of the interesting things you can do with a normally not that great card, Zombie Infestation, if you're discarding cards and then getting them back with Titan, it can make this card a little bit better than it normally would be. And normally this card is not that great. So just another option here for us. What else do we have going on here? So we've got the blue-white land, which is of note. And we can get back a few potential things here. We have Manolith to speed us up into our Gideon Jura or our Titan. So, I'm not really sold on the green right now. I think the black is a little bit stronger. I don't know that green really gives us enough threat density. I suppose we could play like green, white, something. Green, white, black, most likely. But the blue might provide better defense early game due to the bounce. So let's have a look at like the blue-white here for a moment. With the rampant growth and the Llanowar Elves, we do have a considerable amount of acceleration, which can help us to get to these late game bombs. However, that being said, most likely going to play the black. The black is a little bit stronger than the blue, but let's at least have a look at the blue-white. What we might end up doing is we might end up playing like blue-white splashing the black, or potentially like white-black splashing the blue. If we were blue-white, this is 28. So, we could even run like negate if we have to. Cards here that I'm not that impressed by. Let's see. Greatsword is fine. It helps out with Pegasus. It's good with, with Rock Egg. It's good with the Griffin, the Bell Tower Sphinx, the 2/4. So Greatsword's actually fairly decent in this deck. We have a really big 4-drop slot, which I'm not too excited about. Oops, Earth. These actually should be over here. Okay, so that's actually not true. We don't have any enchantments to get back with Auramancer. So, Auramancer is pretty bad in this setup. So we take out Auramancer, we're looking at 27. Okay. And like the unsummons can be a nice play just to essentially buy time for us to drop down one of our later cards. Does this deck want a Frost Breath? I'm not sure. Probably not going to run double Manolith in this version either, so we'd probably be able to run like one Manolith. Scepter doesn't really do anything for us here. Crown is nice. This is... we probably don't need the negate main board. So with Mana Leak and Cancel, we're already got a few counter spells. So this is 24. We could look at, running Doomblade and Ringflesh as, possible like possible splash. If we were to do that, what would we cut? In this situation, we'd probably want to run the second Manolith, just because, if we're going to be with 3 colors, it's probably a bit better to be running Manolith. With that, we probably would not run the Cancel, and probably still run the Mana Leak. Don't have too much double color. Maybe cut like an Unsummon here. Yeah. Something like that. This would be sort of like the blue-white splash black. Now, let's look at the black-white splashing the blue. I mean, well, what would we splash for blue? We would potentially splash, like, on summon, or would we even bother splashing blue? Let's have a look at the black-white real quick here. This might just be better as a black-white shell. So, I mean, we lose a lot of the early game bounce, which is one thing that blue really is nice for. In the black-white shell, we've got the Vampire Outcast, we've got the Reaper, we have Double Ghoul, we have Blood Rage Vampire, so we have a huge 3-drop slot. We've got the Gravedigger, we've got Sorin's Thirst, Double Bloodseeker, and this is 23. You know, we could potentially run like Dark Favor and the Auramancers here. And then like with Auramancers, we can get that back. Dark Favor is pretty good like on the Griffin. It's good on the Stormfront Pegasus. It's good on the Rock. You know, I mean, so there's things to do there. Blood Rage Vampire, probably not the best. We could run Smallpox. But honestly, I mean, running Smallpox is kind of counterintuitive just because, I mean, it's fine if we already have one of these guys out. The problem is that, you know, running Smallpox when you don't have your, you know, your 5th or 6th land yet and you need to play like a Titan or something is pretty bad. But I mean, Smallpox is a nice combo with Rock Egg, for instance. So that's potentially a possibility. We could look at like Zombie Infestation. You know, it's card disadvantage, but you know, once again, if you're recurring creatures with Gravedigger or if you're recurring creatures with Titan, becomes much better. And also, then we will have more zombies for our Cemetery Reaper and so on and so forth. So, you know, I mean, I don't know if we run both Auramancers, probably just one. Because, I mean, we're probably not going to run 2 Dark Favors. It just seems pretty bad. This would be sort of like the black-white shell. So, I mean, the real question here is, which of these 2 shells is going to work better for us? That is a good question. I mean, we have more removal in black. You know, we have more hard removal in terms of like the Doomblade, the Sorin's Thirst, the Ring Flesh. You know, in blue we've got much more bounce. We have more bounce. We have more, you know, tapping. We have counter spells. A little bit of card draw. We've got like the Looter. The Bell Tower Sphinx gets in the way. I think in general the creature quality in black is a little higher, just because, you know, Cemetery Reaper can, you know, lock out a game. And the blue creatures are fairly underwhelming, except for the Bell Tower Sphinx and the Looter. So I'm more tempted to look at the black-white. I mean, we do have the blue-white land, you know, which helps that side of it, but I think that, you know, the black-white might go a little bit farther. Okay, so in black-white, if we're going to cut this down, we need to look at other cards to cut here. What is the weakest card here? I mean, like, the Zombie Infestation could just be terrible. You know, it's only really good if you have, like, the Gravedigger or if you have the, you know, Titan to get stuff back, so it might just be bad. Would be one possibility. Dark Favor, I still think Dark Favor is actually a pretty decent card here. I mean, it adds a lot of value to the Pegasus, to the Griffin, you know, to the Outcasts even, to the Rock Egg. I mean, it may not be the strongest card, but we also may not need both Manoliths in the black-white version. I mean, we do have some double black, and we have some double white, which is late game. How much do we really want to power out these late game threats? I mean, we really do. That's you know, if we get them a turn sooner, it's going to be that much bigger of a deal, I think. Smallpox here might be a little counterintuitive to what we want to do. It is additional removal though, so you know, that's another question. I mean, it's a nice combo with Rock Egg. If we can get it out after we have Titan or Gideon Jura, it can be pretty good. So this is 25. We could just take out the Oromancer, take out the Dark Favor. This way we're at 23. Could run 17 land, try to make sure we get these threats out. We still have, then we only have 13 creatures. This is the problem. So, I mean, with this kind of setup, we're going to be looking at, a much weaker creature base. But, I mean, once again, if you have Smallpox, maybe that's okay. To have that weaker creature base, because we have a little bit more removal. If we can sort of lock down their creatures and get, some better advantage there, might be pretty good. We could potentially run Zombie Infestation. Once again, with the Gravedigger, with the Rock Egg, with the Titan, may not be the worst. Otherwise, we could just run a card which is normally not that playable, but isn't terrible, which is Brink of Disaster. I mean, this is a card that, actually combos pretty well with Gideon Jura. This is also a card which, if you are creature light, well, I said it's not amazing by any stretch of the imagination, but this is a deck that's not really going to. It doesn't, just bash in to win. It sort of gets them, by life. With the Seekers, the Pegasus, and the Griffin get there in the air. We have the Rock Egg. This is kind of more of a defensive deck. It sets up the defense. It overwhelms them with Cemetery Reaper. So that might be a reason to run something like this. On the other side of it, this card is pretty weak if you have to attack in with your Warpath Ghouls or your Banalish Veteran. It's not really a combo with Smallpox. It's actually pretty terrible if you have to run it with Smallpox. So I think, and if we're going to be running Greatsword, we want more creatures anyways. What is the play here? What do we put in? I think I'm really tempted to try out the Zombie Infestation. I'm not sure it's going to be correct, but I think that it potentially could give us some more value here, especially if we end up whiffing on some other cards. Like the Oromancer is fine. I suppose we could just run the Blood Rage Vampire just for more more bodies, but I haven't had a chance to play with it yet. I think that the Infestation could actually be fairly decent here. I mean, well, it is less of a combo like with the Gravedigger. There's less to get back. It's less of a combo with the Cemetery Reaper. Well, it's good with Cemetery Reaper in the sense that it makes zombies, but you can't, get creatures out of the yard and make more zombies. So we're gonna give it a whirl. I think that we do have the double Manolith. We've got just about a minute here to finish up. Magic Online is saying 7-9, and I think I'm actually going to look at doing 8-8 here, just because it's a little bit better for what we want to do. Infestation gives us a little bit more threat value. We've got the double Manolith to get there, so I think we could also just run 17 land since we've got Smallpox. Yeah. I think we're just going to run 17 land. Okay. We will see you for round 1.